Warning, the following video will contain content that is not appropriate for children. Viewer discretion is advised. Well, good morning, bitches, bastards, and motherfuckers! Welcome back for another one of my Pokemon Battle Revolution discussion battles. Fuck yeah! Alright, so as you guys know, I've been discussing my personal life throughout this entire recording session so far today. And I bet many of you guys are probably wondering by now, like, okay, Multi-Step, you've been telling us, like, for this entire recording session, you know, you've got these big things coming up in your life, you know, these big events coming up in your life and whatnot. What the hell actually are these big events coming up in your life? And well, my friends, I am here right now to finally answer that question. I know many of you who've been watching my videos up until now are probably curious about that. So, you know, I think it's fair, you know, I owe you guys an explanation on that as to why I'm going to be taking a break from my playthrough projects for a while. And the reason for that is this. The fact of the matter is, I have held down my job for 6 years. For 6 years, the past 6 years, I have been a host at a restaurant. And don't get me wrong, I definitely don't necessarily dislike my job. I feel like over the years, it's become a bit more strict and a bit stupider at the place I work at over the years. That's just my own personal opinion. It was a lot less strict and a lot more fun when I first started, in my honest and humble opinion. However, that being said, I don't dislike necessarily anyone I work with, and I'm not trying to diss any of the managers or anything, not necessarily. But the fact of the matter is, I've been working there 6 years, and I have not really gotten a significant pay raise, at any point in my employment there. So, the fact of the matter is, and I hate to admit it, but I can't make a living for myself being a host at a restaurant. Trust me, I wish I could. Because if I could, I'd do it. I know it sounds stupid, but I'd do it. If I could make a living for myself being a host at a restaurant, I'd do it the rest of my life and not give a shit. Because I don't have any big ambitions. I'm not a very ambitious guy when it comes to, you know, my own personal life. I don't have any big ambitions because I just don't give a fuck. You know? I don't have any big ambitions. I don't want some big fancy job where I'm making 6 figures. I don't give a shit. So long as I have enough money to live comfortably, then I don't give a shit. Even if comfortably means that I have, you know, a 1-bedroom apartment somewhere, who cares? I don't need a whole lot. I'm just one guy. I don't plan on ever hooking up with anybody, so I'm just one guy. I don't need a big fancy house somewhere. I don't even need a house somewhere. I could literally live in an apartment the rest of my life, and I think I'd be okay with that. Granted, I've never actually lived in an apartment before, but I think I'd be okay with that. Speaking of which, however, the fact that I've never lived in an apartment before, I plan on changing that very soon. So here's the deal. I don't make enough at the job I work at, and I only work part-time, right? So here's my plan for the next year. Here's the reason why I'm going to probably take a hiatus from working on my playthrough projects for a while. Because coming up, I have a feeling that my car is not going to pass emissions this year, and you can't drive a car unless it passes emissions. And it's going to cost more to fix than the car is worth. So my next major life event is going to be buying a new car. And I may have to finance a little bit of it, because the car I'm looking at is about a 2011 Nissan Sentra. That's what I'm looking for. Because right now I have a 2002 Nissan Sentra, and I love the thing. I love that car to death. It has been such a reliable piece of crap. And I love it. My car is half rusted to hell. You know, the panel on top of my on top of the roof of the car, like, that has, like, the lights in your sunglasses case. That shit fell off, you know? I mean, my car's just stupidly falling apart, and the damn thing still runs. I fucking love that piece of crap. I love my fucking piece of crap car. I love it so much. It even has a spoiler on the back, you know? My car actually has a spoiler. It's that awesome. Granted, it has like 2 horsepower. It goes 0 to 30 in like literally 10 seconds. But god damn, I love my piece of crap car. And it sucks that, you know, I am probably going to have to replace it coming up here. But that's just the way of the world. Thanks to those stupid hippie Democrat liberals in fucking Congress passing dumbass laws that your cars have to meet certain emission standards, which is bullshit. Fucking stupid hippie liberal Democrat pieces of garbage. Fuck them. Alright, anyway, sorry. Fucking environmentalists, right? I'm just fucking around, guys. So don't take anything personally. But yeah, so my car's probably not going to pass emissions this year, so I'm probably going to have to get rid of it and get myself a new car. And that's going to quite literally clear out my bank account. I've done a decent job of saving up money. I've been buying a little bit too much video games, but you guys will be seeing that coming up soon once I start showing off some of these new games once I'm done with my Left 4 Dead 2 playthrough like I was talking about before. You guys will see some of those games for the first time, and I picked some good ones. Some really good ones, I think, this time, so I think you guys will enjoy them. A pretty good variety of stuff as well. I went for more like... I tried to go for more like pick up and play kind of games rather than storyline based games, but there's definitely some storyline based games in there as well. So, again, a little something for everybody. Should be fun. Either way, so the next major life event that I've got coming up is going to be buying my new car. And that's going to pretty much clear out my bank account. Again, I may have to finance a small portion, but I have enough money in my bank account right now to put down a huge down payment, if nothing else. Because the car I'm looking at, trying to get it for about like $5,000. So, hopefully I can manage that. But, again, we'll just have to see how the cards fall on that one. Hopefully I don't have any other major dumb expenses coming up. The only thing I can think of is paying to have my taxes done, and then... which hopefully won't run me too much. I can't imagine my taxes would be too complicated. And then this, I have to have some shit fixed in my mouth and whatnot. So there's that. But then after that, because again, like I said, I don't make enough money at my job. I just don't make enough money to support myself, even if I was living in some small apartment, which is my plan. I plan to live in some small, crappy apartment for a while. Which, honestly, you know what? If I have a roof over my head, running water, electricity, and an okay Wi-Fi connection, I'm all set. You know, I don't need a whole lot. Again, I don't need some big fancy house somewhere. I don't need the fanciest, most luxurious apartment. I couldn't care less. It's just a living space. I don't give a fuck. You know, as long as it's not, like, you know, cockroach infested and shit like that. You know, I mean, I'm not talking about, like, living, like, you know, dirt poor, but, like, just above dirt poor, you know. I can deal with that. You know, as long as it ain't, like, again, cockroach infested, then we're good. But, like, as long as it's reasonable, you know. I don't need a whole hell of a lot. You know, some single-bedroom apartment just with a bathroom and like, one room. I could live in that. No problem. I mean, I pretty much live in my bedroom at my dad's house anyway, you know, so what the hell, right? And I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. So, my plan is sometime around May or June, probably more realistically about like June or July. I want to get a full-time job somewhere. Again, I know... Hopefully by then, too, I'll also have my associate's degree in science, but whether I do or not, I don't think is really going to matter a whole lot. Because, again, it's just an associate's in science. Who the hell cares about that, right? So my plan is coming up to get a full-time job somewhere where I'm getting paid. My ideal is at least $12 an hour. That's the minimum that I'm shooting for. I want to get a full-time job somewhere where I'm getting paid minimum $12 an hour. My ideal is more around like 13, 14. That's kind of where my ideal is set at. I do have some ideas on what kind of jobs I want to do and whatnot. I do have some thoughts on that. Nothing concrete yet. Obviously, I still have to work out the details of that plan, and when I get closer to that time period, I will, work more so on those particular plans. But that's my plan, and that is why I'm going to take a hiatus from my playthrough projects, is because I don't know what the hell kind of job I'm going to end up with. I really don't. I have no idea what my hours are going to be like. And right now, living at my dad's house, I only have a really small window of time to record with as is, only about like 6 or so hours to actually record videos, and my work time might completely cut into that. So I just don't fucking know. So there may be times coming up throughout the next year when I do videos that have no commentary. And again, apologize for that, but it's just the way it has to be for now, because I can't do commentary when my dad is home. So it just is what it is. I'm still going to try to do the best I can for you guys here on this YouTube channel, but I really need to get my life sorted out. Need to get some things figured out. And hopefully the idea is that I work this job for a couple months until I get used to it, and that I'm sure I'm going to be there for a while. And build up a nice little safety net of cash in case something stupid happens. Then my plan is towards the beginning of 2021, I want to get some kind of small apartment somewhere, like I was talking about before. Get some small little one-bedroom apartment somewhere. Hopefully rent will be about like $700 a month. That's what I'm hoping for. Plus, other expenses like Wi-Fi or whatnot. I can get some cheap-ass Wi-Fi. Something that'll get the job done. And then, whatever other expenses, car insurance, obviously. But the idea is to, ahead of time, still live at my dad's house for the rest of the year. So that way, once I get this new job, I can build up a little safety net of cash. So that way I have a decent amount of cash stashed away in the bank and all that good shit. But once I move into a new apartment, I'm just warning you guys ahead of time, I won't have as much expendable income. I won't be able to buy nearly as many brand new games to show off for you guys as I have in the past. It's just a fact. I just won't be able to. And I do feel kind of bad about that. Because I know you guys like watching me play new games for the first time. It's so much fun for me to do too. So it kind of sucks, but I mean, it's not like I'm going to stop buying new games entirely, There's some really cheap, good games out there, especially like some of the older ones. So yeah, no worries there. But those are my plans for the future, and that's why I am taking a hiatus from my playthrough projects, because I need a lot of time to set aside to actually work on those playthrough projects, believe it or not. It's easier to just play those, pick up and play kind of games, like, fighting and racing games that aren't storyline based. It's just easier to record those for you guys. And that's why for probably the rest of the year, once I'm done with Left 4 Dead 2, I'm going to take a hiatus from working on playthrough projects for you guys. And again, I apologize, but that's just the way it has to be until I get some shit figured out. But hopefully, once I move into my apartment, the idea is that since my dad won't be there, I'll be able to record videos whenever I want. If I want to record videos at fucking midnight, I'll do it. Because I can't do that here right now, because obviously my dad sleeps at midnight. So, hopefully the idea is that I'll have a lot more free time to record videos whenever I want for you guys once I get my own apartment somewhere. But those are my plans. I just really need to get all that shit nailed out and figured out. And then once I do, hopefully maybe towards the end of the year, I'll get back into a better recording session. I'm not entirely sure, but that's how I see things panning out for the rest of the year for right now. So either way, I'll try to do the best I can, and hope you guys can bear with me and all that good shit. But again, regardless, we're still going to have fun on this YouTube channel, guys. We're still going to have a lot of fun. Whether I'm playing storyline-based games or more of those pick-up-and-play kind of games, it's still going to be a blast, and I'm still looking forward to it. So stay tuned, guys. There's still plenty of fun stuff coming your way. Either way, until next time, guys, peace out.